There are places in the world where silence doesn't mean peace, where the air feels aware, where something watches, not with eyes, but with presence. This is the story of a woman who had everything: wealth, beauty, influence, admiration. And yet, something ancient chose her, not by chance, not by mistake, but by recognition. She walked into the forest on a night where even the wind refused to move, and she never came back. No body, no scream, no trace. Only whispers, carried by those who still dare to go near that place. They say she wasn't taken. They say she was called. Her name was Isabella Virelli, a name that echoed through elite circles like a signature of perfection. She was the kind of woman people didn't just admire, they studied her. Every detail, her posture, her voice, her silence, felt intentional. Born into old money, Isabella never had to chase anything. Luxury followed her like a shadow. Her mansion stood on the edge of a vast private estate. Marble floors, towering windows, chandeliers that glowed like captured stars. From the outside, it looked like a dream carved into reality. Inside, it felt too quiet, too controlled, too empty. Isabella hosted grand events, elegant dinners filled with laughter, music, and expensive illusions. But those who paid close attention noticed something unsettling. She rarely laughed, not truly. Her smiles were flawless, but hollow. Her eyes often wandered, not toward people, but toward something distant, something unseen. As if the life she lived wasn't enough, as if something else was waiting. Beyond her estate, there was the forest. It wasn't marked on most maps. Locals avoided speaking about it, and when they did, their voices dropped, not out of superstition, but memory. The trees there were older than records, their roots twisted above the ground like veins refusing to stay buried. Mist lingered even under sunlight, clinging to the earth as if it belonged there. No birds nested in its branches, no animals made it their home. It wasn't lifeless. It was occupied. The silence inside wasn't natural. It pressed against the ears, thick, heavy, watching. People who had entered it described the same feeling, a sense that the forest didn't just exist, it observed. And somewhere deep within it, something ancient moved without sound. Not hunting, not hiding, just waiting. It started subtly, almost beautifully. Isabella began dreaming. At first they were vivid, lush green landscapes, endless trees, golden light filtering through branches. But something always felt wrong. The dreams didn't feel like imagination. They felt like memory, or worse, invitation. She would wake up with dirt under her fingernails. Attributing it to stress, she ignored it, until the whispers began. Soft, barely audible. Not outside, but inside her thoughts. A voice without language, a presence without form. During her events, she would pause mid-conversation, her gaze drifting past people, listening. Her staff noticed changes. She stopped eating properly. She wandered the estate at night, sometimes barefoot, sometimes speaking, to no one, or perhaps not no one. The forest began appearing in her waking life, not physically, but persistently, through reflections, through shadows, through moments when reality seemed to thin. She felt drawn to it, not out of curiosity, but recognition, like hearing a song you've never learned, yet somehow know. She began walking closer to its edge, each day, a little further, each step, a little less hesitant. The closer she got, the quieter her mind became. The whispers didn't stop. They clarified, guided, welcomed. She once told her assistant something chilling. "It feels like I'm returning somewhere I forgot I belonged." She never saw it clearly. Not once. And yet, she knew it was there. At the edge of her vision, something would move. Too tall, too still, too aware. Sometimes shadows bent unnaturally around her. Other times she felt a breath against her neck, in completely still air. It didn't threaten her. It didn't chase. It didn't hide. It acknowledged. And that was worse, because whatever it wasn't discovering her. It already knew her. The night was wrong. Even before she stepped outside, the air felt dense, like something unseen had settled over the land. No wind, no sound. Even the distant world seemed paused. Isabella stood in front of her mirror, dressed not in luxury, but in simplicity. Barefoot, silent, calm, too calm. Her eyes no longer wandered. They focused, certain. She walked through her mansion like she no longer belonged to it, like she had already left. The doors opened without resistance. The night accepted her, and the forest waited. Each step toward it felt lighter, easier, as if gravity itself was loosening its hold. The closer she got, the darker everything became. Not because of the absence of light, but because of something absorbing it. At the edge of the forest, she stopped. Not out of fear, out of recognition. And then, she stepped inside. The moment her foot touched the forest ground, everything changed. The silence deepened. The air shifted. The presence moved closer. Branches above her seemed to lean, watching, welcoming, claiming. She walked deeper, without hesitation, without doubt, without looking back. She was never seen again. Her staff reported her missing the next morning. Search teams were deployed immediately. The forest was combed. Every inch, every shadow, every possibility. Nothing. No footprints. No torn fabric. No signs of struggle. Only one thing was found. At the edge of a clearing, her necklace, untouched, placed, not lost, not dropped. Left. Authorities treated it as a high-profile disappearance. Media flooded the area. Speculation spread quickly. Kidnapping, mental breakdown, staged disappearance. But nothing fit. Search teams reported strange experiences, compasses malfunctioning, sounds that couldn't be traced, the feeling of being followed when no one was there. One officer resigned after 3 days. His statement was brief. That place doesn't let you search it. It lets you borrow time inside it. As attention grew, so did the stories. Decades-old disappearances resurfaced. People who had entered the forest and never returned. Witnesses who spoke of figures between trees. Of voices that didn't belong to humans. Local legends told of something ancient. Not a creature. Not a spirit. Something older than both. A presence that didn't hunt, but chose. And when it chose, it never failed. Some believed Isabella suffered a psychological break. Others believed she staged everything. But those who had been near the forest knew better. There were no answers, only patterns, only silence, only the undeniable feeling that something beyond understanding had taken her, or worse, called her home. Years passed. The mansion remains, empty, untouched. At night, lights are sometimes seen inside, soft, moving, impossible, and the forest still stands, unchanged, unbothered, waiting. Some say if you stand at its edge long enough, you'll hear it. Not a voice, not a sound, but a pull, subtle, gentle, inevitable. The same pull Isabella felt, and if you listen closely, you might realize something terrifying. It's not calling everyone. It's calling someone specific. What do you think really happened to Isabella? Was it psychological? Or something far beyond our reality? Would you dare step into that forest if it called your name? Share your theory in the comments. Like if this story gave you chills. And subscribe to Rise from Tears for more dark, haunting stories that stay with you long after the video ends.